So Alec Baldwin was supposed to be in court today. Spoilers, that's not happening. Mostly because, yeah, you remember he was charged with a third-degree involuntary manslaughter, something like that. Because, he shot and killed somebody on a movie set. But no. The movie stars aren't going to be held accountable for any of that stuff. And Alec Baldwin, this is a political prosecution, and you can't come after me. I'm famous, and we got these Trump appointees in liberal New Mexico. Sure thing, pal. At the end of the day, you pointed a loaded firearm at somebody, you pulled the trigger when the shot didn't require it, and you killed her, and you think that you're going to be able to get away with it? Your legal team is working overtime, and they are definitely worth every single penny. Alec Baldwin faces reduced prison sentence after charges dropped in fatal Rust shooting. Not all of the charges. I think it was just an enhancement, and same thing for the goddamn armorer as well. Unbelievable. Alec Baldwin has won a key legal battle, with prosecutors dropping a charge against him over the deadly shooting of Halyna Hutchins, drastically reducing the potential prison time he faced. Yeah, unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Santa Fe County District Attorney's Office confirmed to the Post on Monday, so Monday of this week, okay, so yeah, just a few days ago, that it had dropped the firearm enhancement rap tied to the involuntary manslaughter charge of the former 30 Rock star is facing. So what does that mean? No firearm enhancement. So what? He just committed third-degree involuntary manslaughter with his bare hands? Wouldn't that make it worse? Okay, that means Baldwin faces a maximum of 18 months in prison, where theoretically he would do a third of the time, or his sentencing would just end up being, just do a couple of public speaking engagements about firearm safety, and we'll be great. Can we get a picture, Alec? That'd be great. Lawyers for Baldwin, 64. Had argued that the firearm enhancement charge was unconstitutional because it was based on a New Mexico law passed after the deadly October 2021 shooting on the set of Rust. That's interesting. Yeah, they passed a law afterwards, and then I would agree with him in this situation. That does make sense. But the fact that you just get to yeet somebody on the set, on a movie set, and only maybe face 18 months in prison, come on now. And that's at the top end. He'll never even if he is convicted, he's not going to set foot for a moment inside of a jail cell. Heather Brewer, a rep for the district attorney, confirmed the enhancement was removed over a legal argument in order to avoid further litigious distractions by Mr. Baldwin and his attorneys. Further ones. Wait till this shit goes to trial. The district attorney and the special prosecutor have removed the firearm enhancement to the involuntary manslaughter charges in the death of Halyna Hutchins on the Rust film set, Brewer told the Post. And that also applies because him and Hannah Gutierrez Reed, the fat little armor, they were both getting charged with identical crimes. So now what? The family of Hutchins, for the death of their mother, their wife, and their sister. I guess those Ukrainians are going to be staying over there for a very long time. Unless that's a part of the sentence at the end. You gotta flew out her old family from Ukraine. They're just never ever gonna get justice now, are they? Prosecution's priority is securing justice, not securing billable hours for big city lawyers. Oh my God, was he standing back and just had had her thumbs hooked inside of her suspenders while she was saying to big city lawyers? No, at the end of the day, charge him with involuntary manslaughter. Sounds like the right charge. Put him through trial. Let a jury of his peers decide. Really nice of James O'Keefe to find a quick turnaround for a new job. Legal documents show that enhancement was formally removed in filings Friday, a week before the star's first court hearing is scheduled. Oh, okay. Oh, right. Yeah, that was supposed to happen today. Spoilers, it's not. We'll get into that for a second. The reduced charge also applies to Hannah Gutierrez Reed, the rookie armorer responsible for the weapons on the doomed set, who was charged alongside Baldwin. Hey, but good news about the production, man. Rust filming to relocate to Yellowstone after charges dropped. How adorable. Oh, you got a little Petey guy there. He's wearing his best East Palestine gear. Yuck. I was going to add to that yesterday in yesterday's coverage, and just look at how prim and proper and pristine. Listen, as somebody who has worked out in the field and has seen many a white hard hat before, That's exactly the type of creep that you would envision showing up saying that I'm a safety guy. It's like, sure you are, pal. And you never wear that lovely little high visibility vest either, because we can still see the creases from the packaging. And oh, you got the little silica gel pack in the back. Maybe that's just a little bullseye for your boyfriend. Rust has found a new filming location as it is set to move production from New Mexico to the Yellowstone Film Ranch in Montana. Yellowstone, that show for... That's supposed to, yeah, it's supposed to be wrapping up or something like that. I know my folks are big fans of it, but I couldn't be bothered. Filming is set to resume in the spring as Alec Baldwin, who faces involuntary manslaughter charges for the 2021 death of Halyna Hutchins, despite the insistence he didn't pull the trigger. Bro, you pulled the trigger. It's a revolver. That's the only way that it's going to fire. Returns as the lead in the Joel Souza direct. Yo, is he going to be there? Because he also got the big shot on that one. We've learned so much about Halyna as a friend and a colleague, the depths of her artistry, and the lasting impact she had on so many Yellowstone Film Ranch co-founders. Yo, what are we doing? This is so weird. It's like, yeah, she was a great person, and we're so happy to be inviting back the entire cast of Rust, right? The entire cast. Richard Gray, Carter Bonham, and Colin Davis said in a joint statement per The Hollywood Reporter. That's so nice. So yeah, I guess maybe there's better regulations in Montana than there are in New Mexico. I don't know what that says about, Democrat states as opposed to Republican states, but oh well, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. What about the lawsuit though? Alec Baldwin, yeah, he just called in yesterday and said that, no, I'm not guilty. And he called in from New York. Couldn't even be bothered to show up for the involuntary manslaughter trial. And he's like, yeah, we'll deal with that later. But he's not allowed to drink alcohol or own a gun after not guilty plea in Rust shooting. Taking this very seriously. Alec Baldwin submitted a not guilty plea Thursday for his part in the on-set shooting death of Rust cinematographer. Baldwin will no longer need to appear in court Friday for his scheduled arraignment. Ungoddamn believable. The 30 Rock alum was officially charged with 1 count, involuntary manslaughter. The Western film's director, Joel Souza, was also injured, but he's already setting up new location at the Yellowstone set. How great. Was also injured, yes, but New Mexico prosecutors previously stated no charges would be filed in relation to his wounds. He was shot, but we're not going to charge anybody because, well, no, we don't want to work that hard. Baldwin's lawyer did not immediately return a request for comment Thursday, but previously told Page 6 that the charge against his client was a terrible miscarriage of justice. Oh, I agree, for very different reasons. He denied accusations that he ever pulled the trigger on a prop gun, but prosecutors argued that the videos clearly show Baldwin multiple times with his finger on the trigger guard and on the trigger. Oh, inside the trigger guard, and it's like, yeah, if it was on the trigger guard, everything should have been fine, but no, there it is. If convicted, Baldwin could face 18 months in prison. Yep, I could also wake up in the morning with my head sewn to the floor. What's more likely to happen? Despite the charges, Baldwin will continue filming the rest of the Rust movie. God, that's going to be weird if it ever does get released. Even though it's going to be kind of weird to say, like Alec Baldwin's a really good actor and everything that I've seen him in, he's been exceptional in. So I'm sure he'll do a good job in that role, and with Westerns making a comeback, which is kind of nice to see, I guess, kind of sort of. I don't know what the quality of them are. They got that entire Taylor Sheridan, is that the guy's name, when he's running all of those Yellowstone things? 1883 and 19... Like, it's great having something different than just your old, spandex and cape flicks that haven't been good in the past decade and a half. But when it's all said and done, it really does prove that there is a two-tiered justice system out there. There's one for you and I, because if, heaven forbid, anything happens with a firearm, I wouldn't be that stupid to point a loaded firearm at somebody with my finger on the trigger. That's just stupid. I wouldn't be able to sweet-talk my way out of a sentence of, spending the rest of my life inside of an 8x10 cell. But if you're a guy with the right connections, hell, you don't even need to turn up to the trial. So the long story short is, yeah, with the legal developments, it's probably the right thing to do to not charge him with that additional enhancement on top of it, because you're charging somebody under a new standard as opposed to what was happening at the time. That's, even for a murderer, that's not correct. But we'll see what happens. Don't get your hopes up that there's going to be any justice for the Hutchins family. And it looks like Alec Baldwin will probably be back on SNL just in time for his stupid hack Trump parody for 2024. So with all that said, and thank you all very much for the gift of your time, I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.